Hi, this is John Rosenhead, the Torah and Psychotherapist. This week's Torah and Psychology post for Parshas Teruma and the war in Israel is titled Guided Imagery. In this week's Parsha, we learn about the menorah, and the Mefarshim explained that the menorah was one of the cases where Moshe Rabbeinu had to ask the Kadosh Baruch Hu to explain it to him, to explain the halacha, and to actually show him what was being described, because in some way it seems that Moshe was struggling to be able to visualize or conceptualize what this case was, what exactly was the details of this halacha. And in this specific case, in this week's parasha, we're talking about the menorah. And we can ask, what was challenging? What was difficult for Moshe in terms of being able to understand or visualize and conceptualize the menorah? So there are different aspects that we can look at it. On face value, it could be just the actual construction of the menorah. Hashem was describing this form that was created, as the Mefarshim explained, from one solid piece of gold. Just the physical construction of being able to take something and create the form of this menorah with its intricacies was difficult perhaps for Moshe Rabbeinu to be able to visualize. It was a concept that was being explained, but he couldn't necessarily be able to picture it and imagine it, this image of what the menorah looked like. We're also told in the Gemara in Sukkah that the light of the menorah was special. It's something which spread and emanated and gave light to the whole of Yerushalayim. There was something special about this light of the menorah. It gave guidance, and it gave, you could say, direction. It gave a spiritual connection and a source of not just physical light, but spiritual light to the whole of Yerushalayim. There was something unique. As we said, there's a unique quality to the light of the menorah. And also we know the Mefarshim explained that Aaron HaKohen was comforted when he was told that he would have the role of lighting the menorah in the Beis HaMikdash, in the Mishkan and the Beis HaMikdash. And the Mefarshim explained it wasn't just the duty to light the menorah, which had a certain, obviously, a quality and a coverage, but also that the menorah had a significance throughout the generations. As the Mefarshim explained, that Aaron was being comforted because of the heightened and the elevated significance that was incorporated within the mitzvah and the position of the menorah. That it was not only something that Aaron HaKohen would light, but we can see throughout the generations with the miracle of Hanukkah, of course, the nace of Hanukkah, and every year, how we still continue to light the menorah in our homes. And moreover, the symbol of the menorah is now synonymous with the Jewish people, with the modern state of Israel. It relates and is synonymous with Jewish identity and with a sense of Jewish pride as well. And this is something that is incorporated within the image and the symbol of the menorah. So we can see the menorah is multifaceted, and this perhaps what we can say is that Moshe wasn't able to fully crystallize within his mind and have a clear sense of being able to conceptualize this complexity of the menorah, this multifaceted value and quality to the menorah itself. And therefore Hashem had to show him what the menorah looked like, had to actually take him through a guided imagery of showing him and helping him to connect and understand and appreciate what the menorah is through this vision that he was shown, that he couldn't do it on his own. And guided imagery, from a therapeutic point of view, is a technique that is used to help a client that struggles in particular to connect to his inner world, and is not necessarily able to articulate through words the complexity and perhaps the confusion as well of what they are feeling inside. Perhaps a person has a certain psychological need, or they have goals, aspirations, which is somewhat ambiguous, it's vague, confusing, perhaps overwhelming, that they hold in their mind, but it's a blurry picture. It's something that they're not able to fully conceptualize and actually visualize in a sense. And what a therapist does through the technique of guided imagery is helps a person go through a multi-sensory experience through their mind, imagination, through sounds, through their physiological experience as well. And it's this gradual journey which helps to engage and mobilize a person's imagination in order to gradually start to clarify and create a clear picture, a visualization through this guided imagery of what the person is actually trying to achieve, and what is this vague or confusing psychological need that the person is trying to achieve and trying to obtain. This is what a person is helped through a gradual process of guided imagery. And certainly with the war in Israel now, guided imagery in any sort of therapeutic technique that a person can use at the moment is a useful tool to be able to help a person to calm them. It's a good technique for relaxation, but also obviously, if necessary, to help with anxiety and to help with trauma. It is a valuable therapeutic technique and tool to help a person. But also what we can say and what we can see, as Moshe Rabbeinu was shown, this was taken from a position of uncertainty and vagueness of a certain concept, or of not being able to fully understand what the menorah was, and was shown by HaKadosh Baruch Hu what the menorah looks like. So too in our situation with this war, there are certain concepts and ideas that we hold in terms of our Jewish life, what it means to have a connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, maybe what Achdus and Emunah and Hashgacha Pratis and Jewish identity and Jewish pride. These are all concepts that we're perhaps familiar with, but maybe we hold as being slightly vague, not crystallized, not clear enough, something which we want to achieve and to obtain, but it's always slightly confusing or overwhelming, or there's too much conflict which is involved. And Hashem has shown us, obviously we don't want to have a war. We didn't ask for it, but Hashem is showing us through this war. He's clearly showing us, helping us to be able to visualize clearly what these concepts look like within our Jewish life. So I hope you have a good Shabbos and keep well.